There are tons of great guns out there. Many of them are popular, some of them are maybe not that popular as they shoot, and some are outright underrated. However, these great guns do not deserve to be ignored or forgotten. That's why we talk about them here to bring them back to you. Number 10, the Browning High Power. Now you might ask yourself how we came to the conclusion that the Browning High Power is underrated. For all that it's worth, it has been adopted by militaries and police agencies worldwide, and it's still in service. That's true and fair. However, when it comes to the USA, people talk about polymer striker-fired pistols and 1911s. The high power is neither and gets ignored. That brings the next question. Why can someone think that the Browning High Power is underrated when it does not appear so much in the mind of the American shooter? In other words, what makes it so important that it should be up there with 911s and polymer 9s? Not to forget the Berettas are discussed. The reason is simple. It wasn't as extremely influential. It was a pistol that helped design the Glock 17s and Beretta 92s of today. Apart from its historic significance, it's also a very effective pistol with a history of its own. One reason we like the 1911 so much is that this is the pistol that has been around since the year 1911, still works great today compared to all the modern competition. When you look at the high power, it's not that much younger. It premiered in 1935. For its time, it was a game changer when pistols had 7 or 8 rounds in the magazine. It came with 13. That was a big difference. As the 1911s, the Browning High Power has a lot going for it today. That includes the capacity, which can be increased with extended magazines holding 18 rounds. If you start to think right now that this is a gun you might want to carry, that's great. It's a little bit on the bigger side of things, and with its all-metal design, not necessarily light. However, size means power, and weight soaks up recoil. There are 2 good reasons to carry that gun. Concealing it might be a challenge, but there are ways. But seriously, it's more a home defense or range gun. If you can handle the heft, you're welcome to carry it every day. It's reliable and it's super easy to shoot. The trigger's good right out of the box. It does come with a magazine disconnect, which can throw off shooters, but frankly, you can have this feature removed, which also does improve the trigger somewhat. It comes with the Browning tilting barrel design, which is used by most of the modern handguns. While the original gun is out of production, Springfield Armory offers its own versions, the SA-35. It comes with the features of the original, but has a capacity of 15 plus 1 rounds. Number 9, the Walther P99. It might be shocking to some, but Walther has more to offer than the PPK. Okay, joking aside, the P99 has been overshadowed by the PPQ, which is much more popular in the U.S. There was a serious chance for the P99 to come to fame when it was used by Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. It was also adopted by a few police agencies in Europe. However, this was all in vain. While it was, in theory, the hotness of the day, a striker-fired high-capacity 9mm pistol with a polymer frame, it did not catch on. That does not mean it was dead outright. There are still some fans to be found, as proven by the clones that are available on the market. One of them is the SW99C from Smith & Wesson, and the other one is a Magnum Research MR9. There were also clones made by Koenig. What makes this pistol stand out of the crowd is that it's a striker-fired pistol with a double-action, single-action trigger. Also, it can be decocked using a button on the top left of the slide to make it safer. It was designed with an anti-stress trigger mode. This is a 2-stage trigger that has the weight of a single-action trigger but the length of travel of a double-action trigger. The trigger as such is very smooth and consistent in making this gun accurate and comfortable to shoot. Shooting it in single action, it's similar to a competition trigger. The ergonomics are just great, making pointing and aiming just natural. Number 8, the HK P30. There are some famous HK guns out there, like the USP, Mark 23, and the VP9. Interesting is that the VP9 is just a striker-fired P30. That makes it hard to understand why the P30 does not get the attention it rightfully deserves. It comes with a solid double-action, single-action trigger. There's a button right by the hammer that serves as a decocker. You can reach it with your thumb. Overall, this pistol is very reliable and accurate, especially its single-action trigger is great. The grip panels are interchangeable, so you can fit them exactly to your needs. Comes with a big rail for mounting accessories. What is important, especially for using as a home defense gun, for which a light is always recommended. From its size, it resembles a Glock 19. This means it's suitable for pretty much any gun task, from home defense over concealed carry to duty and plinking. Number 7, the Ruger P85 and P89. Ruger is well known for its carbines, revolvers, and the LCP series of pistols. What is less known is that they also produced well-made and affordable auto-loading pistols, like the P85. This gun started a new trend that culminated in the P89, which is in fact just an upgraded, or rather a rebranded P85 Mark II. Produced from 1987 to 2009, it's a pistol that can be described like this. It works, and that for a low price. Why was it not appreciated? Well, for one, it comes with a double-action, single-action trigger, but was not necessarily one of the super hype new features of its time. Also, it has an all-metal frame. Heft helps with recoil, but does not make carrying it easier. Positive, besides its flawless function at a low price point, is the capacity. The 15+1 was great for its time, even if they do not impress you anymore today. The most common variant was the upgrade known as a P89. It features a safety, which is also a decocker mounted on the slide. Its affordability did nothing to diminish the shootability. Its trigger is smooth, and overall the gun functions flawlessly. Number 6, the STER M9. STER is known for its rifles, but the company makes pistols too. While everyone knows the STER AUG, the M9 handgun is left in obscurity. It is not a new gun. In fact, it has had 4 generations already. Coming with a polymer frame, it's striker fired and features a very low bore axis. This makes it very controllable and more accurate. Being well balanced, it works well, and it's super easy to get it on target. The sights do look weird when you're not used to them, but after a few rounds, it's just natural to acquire the sight picture. What is even weirder is the manual safety, which is right above the trigger. It's designed as a push lever and moves up and down. At the same time, it is nearly flush with the frame. Apart from that, the ergonomics are fine. A real downside are extra magazines, which come at a rather hefty price. Number 5, the CZ2075 Ramy. The CZ75 took off slowly, but is now rather well known and has a lot of fans. However, the attention to the CZ75 overshadows the CZ2075. The subcompact CZ75 comes in the size of the Glock 26. It comes with all the bells and whistles that you want from a gun of this size. It's great for concealed carry, super accurate, and comfortable to shoot. The Ramy feeds from magazines with a capacity of 10 rounds. There are also extended magazines with a capacity of 14 rounds available. It has a double-action, single-action trigger like the CZ75, and it comes with an all-metal frame, making it super durable. There were some polymer models available, but that was a while ago. Now, thinking about the metal frame, you might want to shy away because of the weight. However, shooting light and small guns, you know that they're snappy. This beauty, with its weight, thanks to the all-metal frame, is so much better to shoot. The recoil is lower and smoother. Also, the bore axis is low, improving the controllability even more. You get it with a safety or decocker, and the sights are just big and easy to see. This gun is out of production by now, but you can get it on the second-hand market. Number 4, the CZ-P09. The CZ-P09 was a try to win over the Glock with a polymer frame double-action, single-action pistol. With hindsight, it was not a surprise that it failed. It was in fact the second one of a pair. The CZ-P07 was the Glock 19 size pistol, which did get some success. The P09 was the full-size buddy that did not stick. It was big, so the average shooter had no interest in it, while police officers were happy with their Glocks or MMPs. The P09 feeds from a 19-round magazine. In the box are base plates included that extend that capacity to 21 rounds per magazine. There was a variant with a manual safety to carry it cocked and locked, and a variant with a decocker only. To make recoil management easier and to improve accuracy, it features a low-bore axis. Also, it's shipped with replaceable back straps, and it featured a Picatinny rail for accessories. The trigger is easily replaced if you want to swap it for something more to your personal liking. As a full-size pistol, it was a little bit too big to carry it concealed under normal circumstances, but it is a great range gun and a gun for home defense and duty carry. Number 3, the Beretta PX4 Storm. Beretta has its popularity in the U.S., but somehow the PX4 Storm was just ignored. All in all, it's an awesome gun. It also has a polymer frame. So why did it not go well? Well, you guessed it. It has a double-action, single-action trigger. The PX Storm used a rotating barrel system that reduces recoil and makes the gun more controllable. While it's not as revolutionary as it sounds, it does good work. With it shoots 9mm very softly. If you go for the subcompact variant, you'll have to do it without this system. The trigger of this gun is great, as well making it easy to get the rounds on target with every shot. The double action's not really the best, but the single action is just slick. There are many configurations of this gun, including with a safety and decocker. Number 2, the Smith & Wesson 5906. The Smith & Wesson 5906 is an all-metal, double-action, single-action pistol in the size of a Glock 19. Also resembling the Glock 19 is a capacity 15+1. These guns were, for a time, popular for duty carry. They are like tanks, sturdy, rugged, and indestructible. However, at the same time, they were heavy. Competing against the polymer guns, they lost. That does not mean that nobody took them. To the contrary, they were most welcome to all who hated plastic fantastic guns. Sadly enough, this group of shooters was not big enough to make for a lasting success on the market. Another thing they have in common with the Glock 19 is that their factory triggers suck. Okay, they suck for different reasons and a different way, but they suck. Unlike the Glock 19, they do get better with each time you use them, so if you get one for yourself, dry fire it a few hundred times and you'll feel some improvement. Actually, just for itself, the single action was not that bad. However, as this gun comes with a magazine disconnect, there is the part that screws it up. If you buy one used, try the trigger. The smoother it is, the more rounds went through this beauty. To make this gun a stronger competitor to the plastic fantastic polymer guns, Smith & Wesson added a nice rail and an upgraded version. But it was too little too late. What shooters tend to overlook is that the weight actually makes these beasts more pleasant to shoot and more reliable. Number 1. The Sig Sauer SP 2022. Sig Sauer is famous for a variety of weapons, but if you look for something that was worth to succeed but did not catch on you, you find the SP 2022. Also known as the Sig Pro line, these pistols were specifically developed to offer a more affordable option to militaries and police agencies. There was some success around the world. Underfunded police forces took these guns and were happy with them. However, in America, it did not find much of an interest. It comes with a double-action, single-action trigger in different chamberings. These included 9mm, 357 Sig, and 40 Smith & Wesson. Also, with regards to capacity, there was quite some options. The size of the handgun made it big enough for duty carry and small enough to carry it concealed. This means it was suitable for a whole range of tasks. They were able to compete with Glocks and Smith & Wessons at their own price point, but to no avail in the U.S. That's another example of a double-action, single-action polymer pistol that just could not make it. All of these guns did not make it, but they all were well made with a good quality, were very shootable, and frankly deserved a lot more success. Now they give you an opportunity to get a good old gun for a great price and just look a little bit different. If you think we forgot a great gun that is underrated and should have made the list, let us know in the comments. Tell us the features and especially tell us why it is so great and should have been appreciated more.